Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish, and today we have a pretty goddamn epic battle. The elves and dwarves have come together to defeat the forces of evil, and much like the elves and dwarves, I am joined by my arch rival, Pixelated Apollo.
Hello. Every once in a while, there's an external force, and we have to come together and look past our differences and make a video. So it's good to be here.
Yeah, I know, we haven't done one of these in a long time, and what better battle to do than a 4 vs 3 on the city of Umber that looks absolutely spectacular.
It looks amazing. This is one of my favorite custom maps. It's really impressive what they've been able to make in Rise of Mordor.
Yeah, and just the scale of it as well is pretty crazy. There's so many little different alleyways that soldiers can get through, so you don't just end up in that situation where there's you're just going through one choke point. There's plenty of opportunities for the attackers to exploit pathways, streets, and all that lovely stuff. So do you want to dive in and take a look at maybe some of the forces that we've got today?
Yeah, let's do it. Do you wanna do the attackers? I'll do defenders.
Yeah, let's do it. So on the attacking side, on the far left-hand side of the main wall, we do have the forces of Isengard coming. One of the oldest factions in the game, but still one of the best-looking ones in my opinion. Some Uruk warriors are going to be making up the majority of the front line, just kind of holding back the standard sword and board infantry, ready to throw their lives away at a whim. They're also pushing up the siege towers. We've also got more Uruk infantry, so just basically a ton of that heavy infantry. In the center of their battle line, though, we do have a unit of White Hand sappers, and these guys, much like they do at the Battle of Helm's Deep, come in and just absolutely blow everything up. So they're a great unit just to throw against the enemy walls, and if they do work, they can be a bit finicky, a bit weird, a bit dodgy, but when they do dive in, they can just completely clear out a wall, and it's basically no more, opening up a beautiful breach point to attack in. Behind them, we do also have a force from Dale, so Isengard and Dale are teaming up, and the Lake Town Guard looking pretty good on the left-hand side, supported in there by the marksmen of Dale as well. Dale obviously known for their archers. They also have some bardings, which I believe are the best archers in the game. A very deadly unit indeed. Then finally, on the far left-hand side of the attacking force, we have more, or I guess right-hand side of the attacking force, we have more Uruks, and this is kind of the elite part, I guess, of the Isengard army. A bunch of Uruk pikes along with some White Hand stormers, and obviously got artillery ranging in there as well, looking beautiful as they bombard the streets. Really quickly, before this battle does fully get underway, and I'm still doing the intro, on the beach we do have some forces of Noldrun archers, which are going to be scattered around on that beach line with Noldrun nobles. We have some shipwright nobles, so a lot of the elite infantry, and I believe I also missed one of the elven factions on the attackers, but basically there's a woodland realm here somewhere. Is there a woodland realm?
I think they're on defense.
Oh yeah, they are. Sorry, yeah. It was the Noldrun elves, right?
Yeah. Imagine being one of the defenders and you see elves and you're like, oh, thank God, reinforcements. Wait a second, why do they have siege towers?
Yeah, in the movies of Helm's Deep, the elves weren't coming to save the men of Rohan. They were just here to kill them all, breach into the settlement. It would have been the best power play by Galadriel.
The elves were just sick of everyone's crap. They're like, you know what? Everyone's dying.
All right, cool. Do you want to quickly, because we've already got
Uruks, super fast.
Uruks
so defending, we've got more of the elves. So it's going to be a little elf on elf action, and not in the good way. And then over, kind of on the northern side of the wall, left side, we've got this is the Woodland Realm, correct? Yeah, this is the Woodland Realm elves. So they've got their nice, archers and infantry, like most elven factions do. And then kind of more in the center, I think we have more woodland elves.
Yep, more woodland and the dwarves as well.
And the dwarves all the way at the edge here. So yeah, they're working together. Very cool.
And obviously the dwarves have recently received a massive overhaul to all their units, and they just look absolutely spectacular. Really nice.
Yeah, I like the influences, the inspiration by the Hobbit. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Hobbit's not good for a lot of things, but it does have some some good aesthetic
unit
stuff.
Design. Yeah.
Indeed. So as you can see already, we've got some berserkers charging in the center, throwing themselves against the Hall Guardians of the Woodland Realm. But again, even though they are shock infantry, going up against halberds from the front is never normally a great idea. So we'll have to see how that turns out.
Yeah, berserkers are definitely, as intimidating as they are, they're definitely more like they're more of a support unit. Like they need help in the front line, and then they kind of go around the flank or support the front line a little later.
Yeah, 100%. If they can, like, yeah, as you say, they need help because they can't take a lot of missile fire. They need setup. They need infantry to be engaging before they kind of descend in. And as we can see, not liking that engagement, they are going to be pulling back from there and kind of rethinking what they should be doing. Also, there's not really a lot of archers on the front line, considering we have elves set up on that kind of initial wall. There's not a lot of archers hammering the attackers as they come in.
Yeah, I think that's a big missed opportunity because, you know, knowing Total War, the pathfinding's never the greatest, and sometimes it takes them a little while to get off the walls, so they're just lined up, ready to be shot. And, yeah, they could be racking up some kills. The archers, I see some archers actually shooting at the general, the White Hand Stormers back there.
Oh, God, yeah, there's a lot of arrow fire coming out. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but in the most recent patch that they added in, archers now expend their ammunition extremely quickly. Like, an elven unit will fire all his arrows within, like, 4 or 5 minutes, which makes them just so much more valuable in battles and allows them to really rack up kills and then pull out their sword and dive in. Like, look at them, they're already at half ammunition right now.
Yeah, I love this secondary wall too that they can set up on. That is so cool. It just looks awesome.
Yeah, you got 2 units of archers up there just firing down and yeah, punishing that unit of Uruk-hai infantry going down to under 90 men now. They are getting destroyed. That kind of halo shield that Attila units have has now gone, and yeah, they're just taking pure casualties now.
That's just a graveyard, jeez.
Yeah, that really, really is. Oh, over on the beach side of things, though, we do have the Linden Elves engaging. You know it, the Linden Elves. So I don't know what side is what, but it does look like the Red Elves are claiming a bit of a kind of an advantage in this fight, but more of the Yellow Linden Elves are also arriving, which I just realized doesn't really help out because even though their icon is yellow, their armor is also yellow. So calling them the Yellow Linden Elves doesn't help.
Yeah, it's just probably, realistically, like, there would be a lot of friendly fire.
Yeah, I mean, we have a unit of elven archers up on the wall firing down. Like, how the hell would they know who to shoot and who not to shoot?
They wouldn't. Oh, man. This, I mean, and that's the reality of civil wars at times, you know, where there's a lot of friendly fire because you don't know, you know, who's who in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, they really need to be wearing like an armband or something, you know, just to show, you know, most honorable.
But like even then, like armbands fall off, they get covered with dirt or whatever, but yeah, this would be the most tragic thing in lore, you know, like if this really happened, elves versus elves of the same culture.
Yeah, and as you can see, there's not actually really any assault happening on the extreme right of the settlement whatsoever. And there's some Iron Guard over there, some Dwarven units that could definitely be deployed elsewhere, as the forces of Isengard are now pretty much completely inside of the settlement. They're just flooding through that gate. My God.
This is like stage 1 is over. You know, attacking the walls is over. Now they're just, you know, preparing their army for the next layer of defense. There is a little bit of a fight with some Uruk-hai infantry against some hall guards.
Yeah, and again, like halberds from the front, that's not going to be a good thing for them whatsoever.
If anything, they should probably move up those iconic Uruk-hai pikemen.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And there's not really much, like, there's not really any ammunition really left to shoot them if they want to, you know. The archers on the extreme left have half ammunition at best, so, or you just saw that artillery strike coming in.
Yeah.
As the settlement is set ablaze, Umber will be burned down regardless of the victor today. And yeah, I mean, getting the Dale archers in unmolested is going to be huge, I think, because Dale are known for their archers as much as the elves are, so able to fire in, take the walls, fire down from the walls, it's going to be absolutely huge.
Yeah, I mean, these siege battles are always a battle of attrition. It always seems like at the end of the day, whoever has more ammo ends up winning. So we'll see how they kind of conserve their ammo and when they use it. And oh, there we go. I think the attackers are using their ammo on those halberds. that we were just watching.
Oh, brutal. And yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why defending the walls is actually a really good idea as well, because you have in Rise of Mordor, you have a supply barrel that actually replenishes your ammunition. So combine that with how fast arrows deplete nowadays in the newest patches, then it actually is a really good idea to try and defend them barrels, because you can use, multiple, kind of ammunition pools, I guess, to get, a lot of kills.
Yeah, for sure. And that's such a cool feature. That is just really awesome.
Yeah, I always felt like, because you could do it I think in the vanilla Attila, you can do it with ships to replenish ammunition, but you can't do it with land units. And I always felt like that there should always be like a Shogun 2-esque capture point where you could go back and get your ammunition, like restock, and then head back out to the battlefield. Like why wouldn't the city have, excess supplies of arrows?
Yeah, like set up at strategic defensive locations. Yeah, I mean,
it's almost like the defenders would prepare for a siege. What madness. And as you can see,
look at this.
Sorry.
The elves are just like pouring in defenders into this blob on the northern side against Isengard.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see this.
Yeah.
It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. It's kind of overkill.
Yeah, but they are good units as well. So the elves don't have great numbers. There's only, 95 of them in a unit, whereas the Uruk-hai have 160. So you can really see they do get outnumbered. And that's probably why they're throwing in as many units, just to stem any bleeding, stop any breaches from happening in that battle line, just because they are so few in number. Obviously, they're elite, but they don't quite have the quality to stand. Or sorry, they don't quite have the numbers to repel the enemy.
Yeah.
Because, only having them 95 men in a unit, that can be painful. That really, really can be.
And then I'm looking over where the elves attacked, and I mean, this is a great defensive spot. This little like bridge over the water, and they're going to be able to hold for a long time. But it looks like the elves on the other side near the lighthouse have kind of fallen back.
Yeah, they should just be like ultra aggressive and just go for it, don't you think? Like try and sandwich them in and clear the speech point up, and then maybe move into the main wall defense.
Yeah, I would, because look how weak the elves are, the attacking elves. I mean, they could definitely take them on. In worst case, you kill each other's armies and you balance it out, but we'll see how that plays out. I think the defending elves are going to be more passive, and they're just kind of holding back the attacking elves, so their allies' flank is protected while they take on Dale and Isengard.
Yeah, I think the reason as well they're winning so heavily on that bridge was because of them archers with their pinpoint, no friendly fire vision, able to volley him from above, through kind of the piercing armor, and then down onto the Nordrin swords of the attackers.
Yeah,
able to rack up a lot of kills. But then again, I say that the attacking elves have now done the exact same thing. They've just got a unit up on that wall now, firing down, so they should be able to feasibly get a lot of kills here.
Oh yeah, use the defenses against them. And now, hey, look, Isengard has sent up some pikemen to deal with the halberds, but they are getting chewed up by the defending archers. So
nice. How many pikes do Isengard have left now? Quite a few, right? They have Lake Town Guard out there. That's not what we're looking for. I'm pretty sure.
I think they brought like 4 or so.
Exactly, and I just don't know if there's gonna be enough ammunition to really deal with that. I mean, there's an entire unit of Erebor crossbowmen coming up. Maybe not. Maybe they do have quite a lot to still push back the enemy. And, we got a breach as well. Sorry, in the breach point over on the second layer wall. We've got a couple units pushing through there, meeting the Erebor halberds.
There we go. Dwarves are in action here.
Finally. Normally they're the first ones to dive in, but
they're like, let the elves go in first.
Yep. Them and their bodies pile up and more reinforcements coming in.
Oh, but no, the elves have come in. They're coming in to reinforce the dwarves.
It's just like the battle of the 5 armies right here.
Yeah.
The elves arriving now to reinforce. But they are only spears, and spears aren't exactly a great aggressive force in this game. But all they need to do here is just hold the line, right? They just need to hold this breach point and hopefully take their pound of flesh elsewhere.
Yeah. I mean, again, like siege battles, they're just battles of attrition. And as defenders, what you're trying to do is get the enemy to exhaust as much as their resources as possible before falling back to the last stand area where hopefully you've done enough where they don't have enough resources to take you out.
And there really is a very cool fallback position. If we take a look at it, you can see that they've kind of got that initial ramp up by the walls. There's a position you can go all the way around right at the back of the inner layer. You can go all the way down past that capture point and then end up through the aqueducts and coming in from the right-hand side. You can also obviously go down the main street and then up that little kind of stairways position through the houses. And you can also meet up your soldiers and go kind of from the dockyard all the way up and kind of meet up with that rear entrance as well. So there's plenty of places to defend and also to fall back to.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And a lot of places for the attackers to use, which is always, having options is always helpful when attacking.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different choke points on this initial longer outer wall. Having all them options to really stretch the defenders is huge. I mean, obviously you have the beach assault, you have... Oh, and speaking of which, they have actually gone a bit aggressive. The Linden Elves against the Linden Elves have gone quite aggressive with their archers.
Defending or attack? Oh, yeah, I think the defenders, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the defenders have thrown out a unit of spears and their Nordran archers who are out of ammunition. Just lobbing them in against their shock infantry, which is going to be a little bit scary, but...
Against the swords there?
Yeah, I think their main objective is probably just to hold them in place so that the bridge assault can maybe do a bit more. But speaking of that, the bridge assault is not looking good for the defenders, honestly. They've got, they're going up against 2 units of Nordran nobles, which are pikes / halberds. They got archers firing in. That's scary.
Yeah, and they're in a tough situation where it's like, do I fall back or hold? Because if I fall back, the flank of my allies is going to be exposed. Yeah. So I feel like they're just kind of like, well, this is how it's going to be. We're just got to hold and die as long as possible.
Yeah, and honestly, I think they should just pull back, just kind of hold like a line just a little bit further back, get out of range of them archers. You can then maybe try and outflank elsewhere. Oh, it does seem like some of the Woodland Realm are coming to reinforce.
Yeah, I saw that. They've got some archers nearby. And yeah, I agree with you. I think they need to fall back because the bridge choke point area is only good if you have the better defensive units. And right now they don't. And the attackers are just cleaning them up. So yeah, they should fall back and, like you said, try to flank around in the open spaces and try to get behind those halberd units.
Yeah, and there's a lot of open space as they go out. If they just fall back just a tad, to this open courtyard position, then they can then attack them from where the main defense is, or come at them at a different angle. It opens up a lot more avenues. But them archers are definitely still taking their pound of flesh on that fight. And if we take a look at the main inner wall again, you can see that Isengard are putting pressure pretty much everywhere along the battle line. However, on the extreme right, it does seem like the dwarves have been able to repel the enemy pretty effectively. There's barely any dwarven bodies there, and the forces of Isengard have completely fallen back.
Yeah, the attack over here was pretty light, and like you said, what attack there was, the dwarves easily held their own.
Do you want to know why that happened? Look at that unit of crossbows on the wall that were able to shoot them in the back. That was such a good play by the dwarven player.
Because that's really smart.
Yeah, because the attackers didn't go for this kind of far extreme right position. There's no way for any of the attackers to get to the crossbows, so they could just completely lock that down. That's huge.
A big brain play, yeah.
Yeah, 5-head right there.
Yeah, because there's this weird little wall on the wall. There's a wall on the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Restricting access.
Yeah. And it almost seems like the attackers are not too worried about it. I mean, sure, they kind of put up a little bit of a fight there, but look at all the troops. They could send more over there, but they're not. I think they're just gonna concentrate their forces on the center, northern side, and maybe deal with the dwarves a little bit later.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good idea. However, numbers are starting to look a little bit scary. I mean, honestly, the attackers have 8,000 men to begin with. They're now down to 6,600. The defenders have 4,500 left, and they started off this battle with 5.6. So, you know, the attackers are definitely losing men as they push through this, but that's always going to be the case, right? They can't exactly expect just to clearly walk through the settlement without too much opposition.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's always tough attacking, but if you can break through and get to their, push them back to the last stand, there's always hope.
Wait, is it the defenders never win? Is that the saying on your channel? Defenders never win?
Defenders never win. Yeah, that's an old throwback. That's
Medieval 2 style. Why did defenders never win in Medieval 2?
They won all the time. They did.
Okay.
It's just like you'll have someone who only happens to see the attackers win in certain videos, and they just assume the defenders never won. But now it's the opposite, because I do a lot of Rome too, and now it's the attackers never win. So
yeah, it's like switched around. Speaking of which, Dale are making some pretty good progress on the furthest right engagement, honestly. Whittling down a lot of these elven forces. However, the dwarves have now realized that they probably need to send some reinforcements, so shifting over a unit of halberds over there should hopefully just kind of seal that choke point for a little bit longer. And then crossbows are now pulling back from that extreme right as well. I mean, honestly, they have siege equipment outside the settlement. They could just go pick that up, and they're going to pick up that siege equipment right now, I think. Maybe just sending some more over to that extreme left would be a great way, especially now the dwarves have fallen back from it.
Oh yeah, and maybe that's what they were waiting for. I mean, that's whether this was planned or an accident. It should work out. It's always good to spread out the defenders and see. And really, the question is for the defenders is, how long do we hold here? Do they give it their all and try to hold with everything they have, or do they eventually fall back with some troops? That's always the question for defenders. Do we hold to the last in the outer walls, or do we eventually fall back? And I mean, it seems like as long as they control these choke points, they're good to go.
But you always end up in a position where, if you wait too long, it's going to be too late by that point. Like, say the far left breaks and we get more siege towers. Yeah, you can see that battering ram is going to start taking the long trek all the way over to that left
it's going to take a long time.
But there's nothing there, right? So, I love doing this. I love bringing in the siege equipment a little bit later when the battle's already kind of fully formed and, kind of built up and battle lines have been decided upon. Because now you bring up these siege towers or you bring up a battering ram, and then there's another front that the defenders have to try and take care of when they're already kind of being stretched thin. So I love it when, no matter what Total War game it is, I love it when the attackers kind of just hold back a siege tower or two, or hold back a battering ram, and then just deploy it a little bit later in the battle. So I think it makes such a big impact.
Yeah, for sure, because what happens is, like, people get used to the normal kind of strategy where it's like, all right, when battle starts, move up siege tower. Okay, siege towers are done. And then the defenders stop looking at the siege towers. So when you kind of delay it, sometimes the defenders won't pay attention and you'll, get them by surprise. And you could say the same thing about the defenders when they sally out cav. Usually when you sally out cav, it's right at the beginning of the battle. But if you wait middle of the battle, you can catch the attackers by surprise. And I don't know, that's why I love siege battles, because they seem like more of a chess game, where it's slower pace, but you got to make moves that your opponent won't see.
Exactly, you have to think 5 steps ahead.
Right.
And we'll see if it does pay off. No, unfortunately, the battering ram is no longer being pushed over. I guess they felt like it would just take too long, but...
So we just went on a 5-minute rant and rave about how awesome this is, and he just gave up. So.
I think it would have been awesome. And, finally, they're taking advantage of that. If you look on the left-hand side by the bridge, look at the walls. They're finally taking advantage of that passageway so they can come completely behind. And I think they actually already have. Oh. Yeah, they've actually enveloped the bridge defenses already.
Oh, yeah, I see. Okay, yeah.
Because they've come down from that little alley, from that wall, and have just charged them in the back.
Huge.
Yeah, and this is what we were saying, is like, when do you fall back? Should they have fallen back a little bit, like 5 minutes ago, and then this wouldn't have happened. So It's really about picking your movement, because
Yeah, that's the other thing is like, again, when you're the defenders, you have less money, you have less units. So when your units fight, they have to be in a position superior to the attackers almost every time. And when you get outflanked like this and you can't fall back because your troops are cut off, it's a huge loss to the defenders. So this is a huge win for Isengard.
the dwarves are pumping their little legs, so I'm going to try and get over here as quickly as possible to...
Natural sprinters, yeah.
Indeed. Up the hill as well, which is not good.
And then more Isengard troops. We got more infantry rolling up.
Yeah, I think they're going to really try and blockade this point, stop any reinforcements from making it through, and then just strangle the elves on the bridge itself.
Did the defending elves just kill? Yeah, he just killed the attacking elves general.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, they've broken through, yeah, over on that side. Wow. Reinforcements are on the way, it would seem.
That's huge. So it seems like both sides got a pretty big victory there.
Yeah, totally. And that
now they're gonna surround the bridge. So it's a flank versus flank.
Yeah, literally, and their numbers are gonna start to dwindle. I mean, there's not really a lot of elves left really on this side. Yeah, there's not really any elves left. So losing that general is pretty big, especially with these reinforcements. So they can basically, as you said, turn this flank around on its head. The dwarves have fought their way through as well. The Iron Guard charging in to relieve this flank, and I think it's looking good for the defenders, honestly.
How nice to see dwarves just desperately try to save elves.
Exactly. If I was there, I'd probably, just delay myself just a little bit, nothing crazy, just like 5-10 seconds extra, and maybe a few more elves die, what's the harm in that?
Well, you know what probably gave them inspiration? The fact that they would also kill elves.
That is very true, kill two birds with one stone.
Yep.
The rest of the settlement, though, again, we do see them on the far right of the settlement. We see the forces of Isengard engaging against the dwarfs again, and we see them crossbows mounting that wall again, ready to fire in. I'll actually be able to see it in action this time.
Oh yeah, Dale is pushing hard.
Indeed.
I mean, it's definitely getting to the point where there's a little bit of a fire under the attackers where they need to get going and push through this.
Yeah, totally. They need to make a breach point, because the thing is as well is as soon as you break through one of these areas, you pretty much break through all of them, because the defenders have to react to it, and normally the reaction is, okay, we have to fall back now. There's a breach. Fall back to the inner keep.
Yeah.
So it's just all about finding that one weakness and then exploiting it. But I mean, the defense.
Nothing yet.
Yeah, the defense does look very strong, and especially now that their forces are probably going to get cleaned up. I mean, I say that again on the bridge again. Isengard have reinforced with 2 more units, so.
Oh wow! Yeah, look at that.
There's plenty.
They're going
more.
all in.
Yeah,
because this is huge.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty. There's 4 more units on that wall as well, including the general as well. The White Hand Stormers up there, gonna come down and try and help out with the dwarfs firing on that inner wall as well, punishing them for this little flank. Looks awesome. I really wish more settlements did have kind of multi-layer walls. I think they're so cool.
It would be cool if Total War or CA took the time to kind of balance these maps where you could have a heavily defended, multi-walled layer settlement, and it adjusts the funds for both sides, where the attackers have enough money to deal with the defenses and stuff.
Yeah, well, like, obviously this isn't a medieval castle, but many medieval castles, right, were meant to be defended by as few people as possible, because that would give them more supplies and maybe have to hold out for longer until reinforcement armies arrived and so on. So yeah, it'd be cool if we ever saw a medieval 3 or something like that they did really. I mean, they can't do medieval 3 and not do good sieges, like I feel like that'd be a big disappointment. 1 wall sieges in a medieval 3 game. Oh my god.
That would be, for sure. I mean, that would be bad. But yeah, you're exactly. I mean, there's times where they kicked people out of castles because there's too many.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so.
Oh, another general going down.
Yeah, general dead.
Ally.
Oh, that's the woodland.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of elven leadership going down.
Have they been slain this day? I mean, it's been a pretty bloody battle so far. Ooh, it does seem like we're getting a little bit of a sally out from the second wall now. We've got Laslin Blades charging out for breaching the wall. He's looking to engage the upholds of Isengard. Wow.
Oh, yeah, over there in the secondary wall.
Yeah, they've just like fully sallied out, trying to put some pressure on them, but immediately getting outflanked by more reinforcements.
Yeah, it's really risky to sally out for that reason exactly, but maybe they can fight their way out of this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're just maybe a little bit bored. They just want to get their hands bloodied and charge out. But again,
that or they saw an opportunity to get a vulnerable unit like crossbows or something, but I don't really see anything. It just looks like they just charged out and now are surrounded.
Yeah, because you can see that unit of Isengard infantry coming all the way around the side.
Yep.
And that's going to go, flying into their back.
They probably could have squeezed, through there. They didn't have to go all the way around, but hey, it still works.
Yeah, and maybe the reason behind this is just to try and keep more pressure off that northern bridge fight, that's going on, because Isengard are sending a lot of their armies. So if they send some out, they're at least tying up 3 units here to keep them a little bit busy, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we're seeing more soldiers being shifted over there as best as they can to reinforce. And I mean, for the most part, the wall is holding strong, the wall defenses. There's like one position with the Uruk-hai pikes up against Dwarven halberds, and obviously they outrange them. So they're doing a pretty good job there. And I guess that's really the point they should really focus on. But again, there's just so many dwarves and reserves just being sent in to reinforce.
Yeah, I mean, this is still very close. If you look at the attackers, they still have a ton of reserves. So, and I think everyone's kind of used up their ammo.
Yeah, there's like next to no ammunition left at all.
Yeah.
So it's now.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say now it's just an absolute slog of a fight.
Oh yeah. It seems like it's still early to tell, but it seems like the defenders are just gonna put it all right here. They're not falling back.
Yeah, I mean, there's still 21 minutes left of this replay, so they're gonna be fighting for every inch of the settlement.
And I love how the defending elves over here have been held back. He's either just sitting here near the bridge because of the 2 units of nobles just intimidating them.
Yeah.
But in a way, that's a smart play because I don't think these units would beat those nobles.
Yeah, no, especially not in this position. Like, they're kind of almost encouraging them to come out so they can then be outflanked.
Yeah. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, no.
I think Isengard's going to seal the deal for this bridge battle.
Indeed. I mean, there's a lot of infantry being committed there. And, I mean, it's only a matter of time, I think, until the Erebor Spear Guard break or something. Oh, we do have a unit of Mansion Reclaimers, though. Who look absolutely insane. Probably the top tier looking dwarven units. They look so good.
Gold and white.
Yeah, they've been to Valrock on RuneScape and they've got their armor tinted. They didn't get scammed. Absolutely amazing. Rest of the battlefield, though, if we go down again, it just doesn't seem like the defenders can find a breach unless you've seen one. Oh, huge rout. I think that was what you were oofing about, right?
Yeah, the wavering troops here.
That is not good. The elves are surrounded, and again, this goes to show the quality in their units. There's only 95 of them, but they're 95 extremely well-skilled, well-drilled warriors.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like this sally out was a bit of a bait. Like, they sallied out, it caused Isengard to go for a huge flank, and then the elves just counter-flanked.
And it's turned out really, really well for them, honestly.
Yeah.
If they can route all of this, that's huge. Because again, a lot of these Uruk-hai units are still above half strength. Like, you can just route with 100 Uruk still in the unit. It's huge. Another one's about to route with 128. And you've got units everywhere. There's another elven unit all the way over at the gate. If you go further along down that road, how the hell did they make it out there?
They're getting aggressive. I have no idea, but I guess they're just trying to keep the enemy from attacking the main lines. I don't know. But it's working. It's working.
Yeah, no, it really is, and they've done a very good job. They are now engaging the Vineland Guard, though, and that's one of the strongest units Dale do have to offer, so they've definitely met a bit more of staunch resistance rather than the Uruk-hai infantry. They're much more like a mid-tier infantry. Like, these guys will not break. They'll fight to the bitter end.
Yeah, they're like the old guard of the Woodland Realm, I suppose.
Yeah, no, they're very, 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 very good indeed. And it doesn't really seem like there is much left over back at the bridge fight. It seems like for the most part there's one unit of Iron Guard left, so the dwarfs are surrounded by pikes and other units. And they can at least reform their line as best as they can. But yeah, I don't know, that Banzer Power Bot is definitely creeping back in. There's only a 500 man advantage for the attackers now, and I think, honestly, they're running low on men. I don't think there's, I think they need to make a breach point now or never.
Yeah, it's getting to that point where, you know, we're more than halfway through the battle, and they still have not found a weakness in this defense. But all it takes is just, you know, one of these flanks to break, and you could surround a ton of troops and turn this around. So I don't know what the defenders are thinking here. I definitely like their aggressiveness. Like, look at, they sent up some Hall Guardians near the main attack. And now Dale's gonna surround them.
Yeah, but they're Hall Guardians. You know, these are elves, and they don't die easily.
They don't. But why would you push them up to be surrounded?
Maybe they just taste blood in the water and they're just going. Look at them just push through the Dalian infantry. My God.
Yeah, what is this?
And they're getting slaughtered. Yeah, they're getting slaughtered there.
Because of that push. This isn't Rome 2 where you can push through units like that.
I think they've tried to form a square maybe. And that formation brought them over here and lost them a lot of soldiers. They're also exhausted as well, so they're going to be fighting a lot worse than the fresher infantry of Dale.
Yeah.
Not good whatsoever. More Isengard units are reinforcing, and I think it's going to be enough now. They've committed a lot of soldiers here, and there's not really many elves left remaining, really. Supported there, again, by the Vineland Guard and other infantry. I think that's going to be enough to clear up this and give them, really, their first breach point, hopefully.
Yeah, they've got to be so frustrated by these Iron Guards that just will not break. Because as soon as they kill them, they're going to have so many units, you know, free to roam around and support other fronts. But these dwarves just don't give up.
That's what the dwarfs are good for. Okay, so we're a couple minutes into the battle further on where we just were, and it does seem like the attackers have finally managed to break through in the center with some Uruk pikemen supported with some Vineland watchmen and then some Uruk infantry, but immediately met with more of the elven archers, so it's not like they've got an easier job now. They've just been able to break through, and I can only imagine we'll be getting more reinforcements coming from further down the road, because it does seem like the dwarves have also managed to clear out that far right-hand side under heavy casualties, obviously, but still, that's a lot more infantry they can now commit, you know, kind of to the final stages of this fight.
Yeah, it looks like the defenders are kind of setting up a new defense around the aqueduct, so they're not even like necessarily falling back. I think it's because, like you said, the dwarves won to the right. They're doing well in other places, so maybe they don't need to fall all the way back. They just kind of need to reform a little bit and wait for reinforcements. Yeah,
let the enemy kind of come out and, yeah, just exploit that gap, because, yeah, now the elves are engaging at the bridge. They've engaged the Nodrin nobles, surrounded them a little bit. Not massively, but still managed to get around their flank a bit. And we also have that second unit reinforcing as well, coming in to hit the flanking force as best as they can on the bridge.
Nice little charge into some pikemen near the aqueduct. The Elven King Riders.
Yeah, and that's just going to be horrific. Cavalry in this mod is just like 12-12. They tear anything away. If you're a thin line of infantry, you're getting slaughtered. If you're a unit that's moving, you're getting slaughtered. Like, cavalry is just insanely strong in this mod. But there's not many of them in said unit to be that strong as well, you know? Like, there is, only 30 of them in that? Yeah, 40 of them in that unit, so comparing that to like a unit of 140 men, they're going to take casualties if they try and pull out. So it's really about using that ammunition, you know, ammunition being the horses, really, really wisely. But oh, it's looking like some of them pikemen who have been surrounded and attacked from the back are actually going to rout in the center. And that could really start to even up the number count right now. There's
look, the balance of power is almost dead even.
Yeah,
between the two. This is looking worse and worse for the attackers. It's still not impossible for them to win, but it's looking worse and worse as time goes on.
Yeah, they really need a big breakthrough. It's like now or never almost. They need to just kind of go all in. Sorry, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I feel bad for the attackers because there was many moments in this battle where they seemed like they were seconds away from having a huge breakthrough, but the defenders would just rally and reinforce. They were so close.
Yeah, I just don't think they have enough now. The dwarves even committed a unit of their halberds to defeat the soldiers coming off the wall now and kind of stop them in their tracks so they can't go and reinforce any other positions.
That's good.
Yeah, and again, halberds are good against anything, so just trying to engage them from the front is huge. That unit of Vineland Guard, though, charging in and probably going to look to try and surround that Dwarven unit, which is going to cut them down. Hitting them in the back is going to be huge.
Oh, that's huge.
So it's going to give them something. And I mean, again, if they can get a high-tier infantry like this into the back of that bridge attack, then they could quite easily clear it out, I think. But it's just getting the unit there in time before all hope is lost.
I think they've got time. Again, great job by the defending elves near the bridge, just holding back, because just their presence is keeping those nobles from being able to reinforce the other side against the dwarves. And I think that's I see that all the time, where it's like, if you feel like you don't have enough strength to beat an enemy, just sit there and make them have to sit there as well,
Yeah, no, that's huge, especially because, as you said, if you don't have the strength to defeat it, there's no point you committing and just losing your soldiers anyway for no reason.
Yeah.
If they're going to die. Does seem like we do have a unit of Vineland Guard who have made it through. And I guess I'm going to go try and go back and slave an Aldrin Noble General unit over there as best as they can. But yeah, I don't know. That balance power bar's not looking good. The number advantage is now in favor. Has literally just went in favor of the defenders. They're able to surround and kill a lot of the soldiers by the aqueducts. I think this battle was, shaping up to be a pretty a costly victory, but a victory nonetheless for the defenders.
I still have hope. I'm rooting for the attackers just because they're kind of the underdog at this moment, but they still, the balance of power is even. They can still do this.
Yeah, there's always hope, if only a fool's hope.
And the bridge battle does, both these forces have been so stubborn for this bridge.
Yeah, look at the bodies. They're just so piled up.
Yeah, and it looks like the attackers are going to finally take the bridge. Dwarves are breaking. Look at, the general's calling it quits.
He's like, I'm getting out of here. But he's going to get hit in the side. I think he did manage to form a square just before that, so that'll give him a lot of protection and just bide him as much time as he needs until the reinforcing dwarfs arrive.
Yeah, but we also have some reinforcement, Vineland Guards and Urukai coming in.
I don't know.
And the dwarves are breaking at the bridge.
Oh, yeah, that's going to open up that point. But again, if we look back at the aqueducts, there's nothing left now. They've really pushed through. All the attackers are just trying to rush through that breach point to try and, I guess, kind of combine their forces into one last stand. Yeah. But yeah, no,
that's what I would do at this point. Just consolidate the forces and hope for the best. But yeah, look at this move here. The Dwarven warriors are like, nah, you're not regrouping.
Yeah, that was absolutely huge. Stopping that regroup was massive, because I think at this point in the battle, it's not about killing your opponents, it's about routing them. So keep stopping them from being able to join up into one big blob, and that allows you to really outflank your opponents, and just holding them there will really divide the enemy as best as they can. And I still outflank over by the bridge as well, surrounding that unit of Iron Guard from both sides. Isn't a bad play either. It's going to give them a good advantage. Again, just trying to rout your opponent is huge.
Yeah. And those dwarves are still breaking. They're still wavering, but yet still fighting.
Is the
At the
Dwarven General
bridge.
still alive? I think he is, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
So yeah, that's
Alright.
pretty big.
Is he?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
over on the far
Tomb
right.
Wardens, yeah.
Coming up. And we've also got some crossbows who have mounted the walls now. Still have ammunition left.
Oh, yeah, look. Oh, my God. That might be devastating.
That's a lot of kills they're getting right now.
This could be the nail in the coffin right here. This could be the final punch that takes out the attackers.
Yeah, and the unit of Iron Guard has not lost a man yet. They're surrounded. They just lost a dwarf right there. They are,
Oh, yeah.
they
The
are
Vineland
holding.
guards, they're dropping so quick to these crossbows.
Yeah, I think that's going to be GG, honestly. Because,
Yeah, I mean, again, like holding on to your archers to the last stages of the game, it leads to this, you know?
yeah, we've already got 40 kills. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it definitely does start to rack up.
It's only 40 kills, but also it's quality kills. This is the Vineland Guard. Like 40 of them, that's huge.
Yeah, and again, they're reducing their number, and you can see that morale starting to drop down on the Urukai, who are also in that blob. And the unit of Nodrin Nobles as well in that square formation, able to fight off many of the enemy units.
Yeah.
Outflanking forces at the main gate.
Even breaking
Yep.
units.
Yep. Yeah, it's over. It's GG.
What an epic stand. Yeah, the balance of power is now in favor of the defenders.
Hashtag attackers never win.
Okay, well, here's a question. So, what do you think the attackers could do? What do you think they should have done to win this battle?
I don't know. This is a hard settlement. I don't think I've ever seen the attackers win on this settlement. It's a really difficult one to attack. I guess put more pressure on that far left-hand side, with what plays very completely ignored. And I guess probably commit less to the beach assault. I think maybe would have been a good idea. And yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one because the defenders have such a good advantage on this map, I think, because it's a really obviously fortified map. I think just committing to that extreme like right-hand side where the dwarves were, breaching through that point, that opens up a lot of avenues where you can start threatening the furthest rear kind of, I guess, little road. Where you can go all the way back and then you can go into the center. So that way you threaten kind of capturing the inner city, meaning that the defenders have to leave stuff back. And then you can also start to outflank kind of down the main road and you know, kind of really open up your avenues. And also get archers up there to fire down.
So
yeah,
basically just stretching out the defenders.
Yeah, as best as you can, because I think they committed a lot, and even though that bridge fight was good, it kind of played in favor of the defenders because they don't have as many units as the attackers, so
yeah,
they're basically allowing the attackers to throw 5-6 units against 2 or 3 of theirs on that bridge, and obviously that's huge for them.
Yeah, if I was the attacking elves, I would have just focused on, like, if you're attacking the beach, I would have focused just one side, you know? Because he kind of split his forces and attacked the bridge and the other side. I just would have stayed at one and just break through. I would have gone, not the bridge side, I would have gone the other way and try to get through there to force, you know, defenders to fall back.
Yeah, and maybe even just delay your assault as well until Isengard are already pushing down that kind of route they came down towards the end of the battle. You know, so when they're attacking from that side, you're pushing your entire army over on the other side by the lighthouse, and all of a sudden the defenders don't have enough men to guard everything.
Yeah, for sure. And if I was the attackers, I would have only used my archers to kill halberds and pikes. That's it.
That was a lot of them.
Yeah, I feel like the halberds almost single-handedly won this battle, and I'm sure we're gonna see it at the battle results when we look at the kills.
Yeah.
Or you can't see kills in Attila, can you?
You can.
Oh, you can?
Not total kills, but I think we're ready just to triple speed the rest of the battle now. I don't think there's going to be anything too crazy.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, I'm going to click triple speed now, and we'll just see the last little stand. But yeah, you can see. So you can't see, I think, the total kills of the armies and the players, but you can see the kills on the units, which is, which I guess is okay. It would be nice to have both.
That's right. Hey. And you can kind of see now, like, look at Erebor Halberdiers, 238 kills.
Oh my god. 483 at the unit in the breach. 483, and they've lost, like, 40 men. They've still got a decent chunk left in their unit.
Ooh.
God damn. Yeah, that is scary. And it's not even like they're like an ultra elite unit either, the Dwarven halberds, you know? Like they're heavily armored, but they're not like
Yeah.
the highest tier. They're just a train tier. So it's like tier 3, tier 2, tier 3. They're not like the elite tier. There we go. Pyrrhic victory. The defenders claiming that one in I'd say a pretty decisive kind of victory towards the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was just a solid defense. They just did not let up. They didn't give the attackers any opportunity to break through, and because of that, yeah, the attackers couldn't get it done.
Yeah, I mean, look at the halberds. Cuppa dances, halberds 400 kills.
Oof.
Yeah, a bunch on the
Hall
Dwarven.
Guardians. One almost got 500 kills.
Yeah,
kind of.
That is pretty crazy. It's always so hard to tell as well, though, with kills. Like, it really depends on what faction, because, you know, the Mordor have 200-man units, whereas the Elves have 85. So kills aren't always a great indicator of, like, how well a unit did, but 500 kills is pretty impressive.
Yeah, for sure. Because, yeah, they could have been charged by archers that didn't have any ammo or something, but...
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's going to do it for today's battle. Make sure you go over and check out Apollo's channel if you haven't already. We're also going to do a battle replay over on his channel, so make sure you go check out for some more action. And obviously, if you want to see us do more of these battles in the future, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below, and I will see you guys next time.